Hello, everybody. It is Coach Pine, Pine the Pear, bubbling. However, you know me, you know whose video you clicked on. We lost again. Very disappointing game, to say the least. Chiefs lose to the Raiders on Christmas. And if you know how these videos works, I take notes about the game on my phone, and that kind of gives me an outline of what I want to talk about during the video. I'm going to go through one of these notes, and then I'm just going to read them all to you. The first note that I want to get out of the way, because it doesn't really fit the theme of the video. A few weeks ago, pretty much throughout his entire career, everybody said that Patrick Mahomes wasn't a leader. He wasn't like the presence that the Chiefs needed outside of the Tyreek Hills and Travis Kelce's and Andy Reid's. He didn't show any passion or try to fire his guys up or anything like that. And now that he's doing that, now that he is trying to fire his guys up on the sideline, he's, yelling at the referees for whatever reason it may be. Now that he's doing all that, Mahomes is a crybaby. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Nobody called Tom Brady a crybaby for yelling at his offensive linemen or yelling at the referees. And if you did, it wasn't a narrative that stuck with him through his entire career, like it seems to be doing with Patrick. Okay, now on to the notes. I'm just going to read them. I'm just going to read them off. We'll talk about them. Here we go. Offense is shit. Play calling is shit. Offensive line played like shit. Running game is shit. Receivers are shit. Travis Kelce is slowly turning to shit. Defense was great until the last 2 minutes, where it was shit. Special teams all of a sudden is shit. So, you see the theme. Our team is not good right now. We lost to the Raiders, our biggest rivals, on Christmas. It's like the Grinch who stole Christmas. So let's take a bit of a deeper dive into some of these points that I made here. We're going to just throw the offense into one category and just talk about the offense as a whole, the play calling, the offensive line, the receivers, all of it for a second. Really the whole team in general this season, but more so the offense, is incredibly undisciplined. It is insane how much we just get in our own way, whether it be penalties or turnovers or drops. Stuff like that, missed field goals, which I know Butker has only missed his second one of the year in this game, but point still stands. Eventually those points are going to matter a whole lot. We just can't get out of our own way. Turnovers, penalties, drops. The offense is struggling right now to be disciplined. And I'm going to point some fingers, not at Patrick Mahomes, not at Travis Kelce, not at the players, pointing the fingers at Matt Nagy. A lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, most people even, don't even really realize how big of a role, and including me, I was part of this group as well, didn't realize how big of a role that Eric Bieniemy played on this team at that offensive coordinator position. He left Kansas City because he wanted to call plays. He wanted to get out of Andy Reid's spotlight and get a better opportunity somewhere else that could maybe land him a head coaching job somewhere down the road. All power to him. He's having some success over there in Washington. I think Ron Rivera will be out at the end of the year. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Eric Bieniemy becomes the new head coach of the Washington Commanders. But that's besides the point. We bring in former offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, former head coach of the Chicago Bears, to be our new offensive coordinator. Problem with that is, with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, there was kind of a good coach, bad coach dynamic. Andy Reid was the guy that all the players liked, all the players loved to be around, the funny coach who, still at the end of the day is your coach. Eric Bieniemy was the guy that everybody respected. He was that authority figure. He was quick to be busting some guy's balls on the sideline for something that he didn't like. Nagy hasn't shown the ability to be that bad coach in the good coach, bad coach dynamic. And Andy Reid hasn't stepped up in absence of Eric Bieniemy to be that authority figure on the sideline. And really, that kind of might be the problem, like the entire problem. They could be that simple. Do I think it's that simple? No, I think there's some deeper rooted issues in the organization and in the locker rooms. But it really honestly could be that simple. This offense is pretty much the same that we had last year with Eric Bieniemy. You know, there's a few swaps. We have a different set of tackles on the left side and the right side. Have, a few different receivers. But the core, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Patrick Mahomes, Pacheco, Kelsey, MVS, Sky Moore, like the core, 90% of the offense is exactly the same. And look at how bad we are and undisciplined we are compared to last year. It is astounding. And also, I know Andy Reid calls the plays, and I'm not saying I want Andy Reid gone. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. He's top 5. One of the greatest offensive minds of all time. He's top 3 in that category. Not saying I want him gone. But the play calling this year has been not good. Like I said, it was the second point I made. It hasn't been good. We can't seem to figure out when to run a trick play, when not to run a trick play, when to run a short pass, when not to run a short pass, when to run a screen, when not to run a screen, when to run the ball, when not to run the ball. It's like every single game I watch this team play, it's almost like we're going through like a practice, like a walkthrough, like we're running these plays for like the first time. It kind of seems like, and we're figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what works, what doesn't work. But we're doing that every series. Like we'll come out on the first drive and be like, okay, we're running the ball really well. The short passing game is working really well. And in the next drive, we'll come out and we'll throw deep. And we're figuring out what works and what doesn't. And then it's gone. I don't get it. I don't understand how this team can go from winning Super Bowls, winning MVPs, being labeled as the next dynasty after the Patriots dynasty, and then just falling off a cliff. And don't get me wrong, this team is still a very, very good team. And, if we clean things up, like Patrick Mahomes said, if we clean it up, we can go beat anybody. I truly believe that. But it's not like the earlier years of Patrick Mahomes and some of the years in the middle. We're not wasting an elite Patrick Mahomes anymore. We're wasting an elite defense. Our defense is top 5 in the league for sure. And if our offense could just be average, a little above average, we'd win it all. But our offense is so inconsistent. They're so undisciplined. They don't have an identity. It pains me to say it. The offense is easily the worst part of this team. We have a very good punter. We have a very good kicker. We have a very good defense. We don't have a very good offense. And I think the Chiefs and the 49ers are showing the NFL that maybe you don't really need to throw all that money at an elite quarterback. If you can find a quarterback that works, that, minimizes turnovers, and give him elite weapons in Brock Purdy and the 49ers, as opposed to a great quarterback and weapons in the Chiefs, 49ers look like a better team by a mile. It's not even close. You got Brock Purdy playing with the Avengers, and it's working compared to Patrick Mahomes playing with the average Joe squad and losing consistently. And there's an outside chance that the Chiefs don't even make the playoffs this year. And the way we're playing, we don't deserve to. To be honest, we need to come out and have a prove-it game. these last 2 weeks and then go into the playoffs hungry, go into the playoffs ready to prove doubters wrong. Because right now, Chiefs definitely look like probably the worst team coming out of the AFC this year for the playoffs. And like I said before, there's a chance we don't even make the playoffs. The Raiders could still win the division if we lose out and they win out. It's possible. I'm Pine the Pear, and that's my take. I'll see you in the next one.